What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a playthrough today of Jynx, the human-shaped Pokemon. Let the games begin. Go and watch our first rival fight. Our rival has Squirtle. It made the most sense to do Squirtle. And Jynx is just named Jynx, because I couldn't think of a good name for her. Without it being, like, inappropriate. So I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to stick with Jynx. And our rival's name is Rival. So, kept it very bland for this one. But, we're doing pretty well in this battle. Pound is doing a decent amount of damage. And we knock out Squirtle pretty handily as the first attempt. And we win. And we move on. So, with this Pokemon, you have some interesting stats with this Pokemon. I'll go over the stats here. HP is 65, attacks 50, defense is 35, special is 95, and speed is 95. So in Gen 1, you don't have special attack or special defense, just one stat. Covers both. And special, like I said, 95. So special and speed are definitely our two best stats. We are a Psychic Ice type, so Psychic Ice Pokemon are pretty strong in Generation 1. So Psychic for sure is like one of the best typings because there's no weaknesses. It doesn't have really any weaknesses. Okay, and an Ice type is very good. Ice type is very good for the Elite Four for a lot of different reasons. But our worst stat is Defense, so that's kind of bad because early in the game, a lot of things just have physical damaging moves like normal moves and stuff like that. So our defense is pretty low early, but also our attack stat is not the greatest, but it's not horrible, but it could definitely be better. But we've definitely had worse. And also early, all we have is physical damaging moves early, so our attack stat works with that, and it's not the greatest, like I said. And then HP is okay. We have mediocre HP. So yeah, all in all, not the worst stats, but not the best. So go ahead and watch our second rival fight here. Our second rival fight. Our opposition comes out with Pidgey and Squirtle. So Pidgey, we let her stand attack us once, and we're like, you know what, screw that, we're just going to put the damn thing to sleep. Pound, now it doesn't matter if we miss, well, unless we miss like a whole bunch of times. And we're just going to pound this little bird, the dirty little bird Pidgey, into the ground. And now we're going to go ahead and go after this Squirtle. Squirtle has a Bubble. Bubble's not going to do much because we have high special. So just going to pound this little bird into the ground. We put it back to sleep just to be safe, just for safe measure. Lovely Kiss is actually great because it's 75 accuracy, 75% accuracy. A lot of moves, a lot of sleeping moves are not that high. Spore is the best, it never misses, but Lovely Kiss is like 75%, it's pretty good. So now we're in Brock's gym with the Million Light Years trainer, and we one-shot the big Diglett. That is insane to me that we did that with the normal attacking moves, but Diglett does have low health, or hit points. And defense, so yeah, not too crazy. And we put Sandshrew to sleep, and with about 4 or 5 hits, we knock it out pretty handily without taking any damage. And then we come back at level 19 to beat Brock. The reason why we came back at level 19, Wakanda forever, is because we get Lick. Actually, we got it at 18, but it had so many power points left. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna extend, use all these power points. So what you want to do with Geodude is we're using Lick. Lick is not like a high damaging move, but what it does have the propensity to to paralyze the opposition. So right there we paralyze them, and then Brock wastes a whole turn healing his Pokemon. So we're gonna do the same thing with Onix. And what we want Onix to do is well, he gets paralyzed, so there, like I said, he wastes a turn healing. And then when Onix initiates Bide, we're gonna put him to sleep. Now when we put him to sleep, Brock has 5 full heals per Pokemon. Okay, so once he exceeds all of his full heals, I think that's his 5th one right there. No. Yes. Okay, so we've done that. So now I did one more because I'm in a clicking mode. And what we want to do is use all of his full heals, and now when we put Onix to sleep, he actually stays asleep, and we can just whittle down his health gradually over time. It's a good strategy because he can't attack us, he can't initiate Bide, and we just get some free hits. Plus, we don't have the most high-end damaging move anyway, but it's a good strategy. It's kind of a battle of attrition, but we get the win, and we move on to Route 3. Now, Route 3 is not super important, so go ahead and watch the fights, but I want to go over the stats of the Pokemon on Route, or the level up moves, I should say. So Pound is our first move in the game. Pound is a 40 base power physical damaging move. 100% accurate. It's not the greatest move to start the game with, but it's not the worst either. It's better than Tackle, it's better than some other moves. Lovely Kiss is a 100% accurate sleeping move. It only has 10 power points, but it's 75% accurate. It's very effective. Lick, I don't know why we get Lick, probably because it's a female Pokemon. It looks like a female. Lick, Ghost. It's a Ghost move, 20 base power, 100% accurate. Can paralyze the opposition. So it'd be better if we got like Confusion there. That'd be amazing, but we don't. And then we also get Double Slap at level 23. Level 23, 15 base power, 85% accurate. It can hit up to 5 times. So it's not the greatest move ever, but it will be effective for like a smidge of the game. And then Ice Beam is like a really good move. And once we get that, this run kind of takes off. Because Ice Beam is a stab move, and it's 75 base power, 100% accurate. With our stab, it's like 112 base power. Very powerful move, and it coincides with our Ice. And Ice is very powerful in Generation 1. And then we also get Body Slam, but I'll go over that in our TM moveset because we'll get it long before level 39 with TM. Thrash is a move. It takes multiple turns, but it can also, it's very powerful, 90 base power, 100% accurate. But if you don't knock out all the Pokemon after like 3 or 4 turns, you can it can confuse you. And then Blizzard will get via TM as well. So I'll go over that right now. The TM movesets. So the TM moveset, now we're in Mount Moon, so go ahead and watch the battles while I explain the TMs. So the TMs, I'll just go over kind of the main ones we're going to use. So Mega Punch is one we're going to get in here along with Water Gun. Water Gun actually lets this run kind of take off as well because it's our first special damaging move. So it does a decent amount of damage when we use it. So look at it, we're one-shotting some things. We are level 21, so that makes sense. So we start off, we get Mega Punch. Mega Punch is 80 base power, 85% accurate move. Not the greatest. It does coincide with our mediocre attack stat, but it's a good move to have with this Pokemon. Mega Kick and Toxic Rock. Use Body Slam, however, is a move we are going to use because it is the most reliable physical damaging move, in my opinion, in this game. It is 100% accurate, it's 85 base power, and it also can paralyze the opposition. Okay? Takedown, Double Edge, we're not going to use. Bubble Beam and Water Gun are very good moves to have. Water Gun, 40 base power water move, uses our special stat, works very well. Bubble Beam, 65 base power, so it's a little bit more powerful than Water Gun, and both of them work very well with our attack stat. Then we get into the bread and butter of this Pokemon, which is Ice Beam. Ice Beam is a 95 base power move with 100% accuracy. However, it also is stab, so it's like 140 some base power. Very powerful move. We get it about midway point in the game, and that'll replace Ice Punch for us. Blizzard is a more powerful version of Ice Beam. It's just 120 base power, so with stab it's 180, and it's also 90% accurate. Okay, so that's why I don't like Blizzard as much. The accuracy, I don't like the drop in accuracy, just a little bit more power. Ice Beam, usually if you're using Ice Beam, it's enough to get through what you need. And we just got Mega Punch right there on the screen. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. So now we got Mega Punch, Water Gun, Lovely Kiss, and Pound. That's our moveset. Hyper Beam, Submission, and Counter are 3 moves we're not going to use. However, Seismic Toss, I thought Seismic Toss was going to be used in this playthrough, but it ended up not being used at all. And the reason why it wasn't is because I found a better strategy to beat Misty. I thought I was going to have to use Seismic Toss to get by Misty because her Pokemon have pretty good special, so Water Gun wasn't going to do good, plus it's a water move. And then Mega Punch is unreliable, however, Lovely Kiss is a fantastic strategy. So I ended up not using Seismic Toss, but I had the plan to initially whenever I did my prediction video. Rage is useless. Psychic is fantastic. It goes along with our typing of Psychic. It's it's 90 base power with our Psychic, with our Stab. It's 135 base power, Psychic move, most powerful Psychic move we can get. So that and Ice Beam are like our bread and butter, 2 most powerful moves like by far. None of the other moves on here are going to really be useful except for Mimic, but Teleport not useful. Mimic will help us with the badge boost later in the game. Double Team, Outlawed, Reflect, not going to use. Bide, might be used for like 1 minute on here. I think I used it to help me catch my flying type, and then I got rid of it as soon as I got Water Gun. Metronome, Skull Bash, Rest, Sidewave, Substitute are not moves we're going to use in this. So the main moves we use, like Mega said, Mega Punch, Body Slam, Water Gun, Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, and Psychic are the main moves we use for this Pokemon. And we're getting to the end of the tunnel right now. We got this Rocket member, and then we got the super duper nerd who won't share his fossils with us. So we get the knockout there. Zubat is a one-shot. A lot of things in here are one-shot. That's why I put this here, because we get to the point where we're just like one-shotting or two-shotting everything. And me commentating and saying one-shot there, one-shot there, one-shot there, it kind of gets redundant. So this is why I'm throwing in these things right here. This is why I don't comment as much on the normal Pokemon battles, and only so we got the Dome Fossil. All hail the Dome Fossil. I know that if I didn't tell you, you were gonna ask me anyway. Actually, now I think of it, go ahead and comment down below which one you wanted anyway. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So now we're in Misty's gym. Misty's gym is not gonna be super hard. All of our Pokemon are gonna have either Water type or normal type, which normal type moves aren't very powerful, but we have low defense, so that's the sucks. There's a Pokemon coming up here in a second that has a normal type move that sucks, or a water move, and we have high defense. So we have Mega Punch to kind of counter that. So Goldeen's Peck doesn't do as much as I thought because we're just a little more powerful, but it still does a decent amount of physical damage. So we get the win. We're gonna heal up, and this is when I was like, you know what, we got a better strategy we can use on old Misty here. So yeah, we're gonna use this strategy. We're saving right now, and now we're gonna go on to Misty, and Misty and her bikini. So Staryu comes out, and we're gonna put Staryu to sleep. Okay, sleep strats are best strats. Okay, one knockout. That was a critical hit. So Starmie will not be a one shot like that. However, it will take about 3. So it does about a third. Yep, it takes about 3. Now with that defense up, it does take 4 now because the defense was boosted, but we get the easy win over Misty. Now we have Bubble Beam to our repertoire of moves, so now we have another more powerful special move in our repertoire. So now we're moving Bubble Beam to the beginning here, and we have our 2 most powerful. So Pidgeot's a 2-shot, and I don't know why we went for that. Just go for Bubble Beam, JD. I don't know why you complicated it. Trying to save power points, I guess. Abra's a 1-shot. Rattata is a 1-shot, very good. And Mega Punch. Let me know what you think of these transitions where I pull up like the landmark fights and show you the Pokemon they have, and like how the screen like moves over. I like that so much. I discovered how to do it, and it was really amazing. But I would like to hear your feedback on what you think of it. In this video, some of those pullbacks they've spun weird. Like I just wanted the corner to just come up, but it's kind of doing it like in a weird motion, and I don't know how it happened. But it happens a few times randomly, and I don't know how to undo it. So that's just me going through some growing pains when it comes to this part. So this, I don't usually show a lot of this, but I just wanted to show like kind of the combination. This area of the game is one of the best areas to get experience because there's just so many mandatory trainers. It's such a combination of mandatory trainers. Now, something I didn't comment on a little earlier is we beat Brock at around the 26-minute mark. Okay? 26-minute mark, and it's 38 minutes now, so I want you to keep track of the time of how long it took this Pokemon to get this game beaten, and we're going to compare that in the end. But I just want to take notice of that. I didn't mention it earlier because I was talking about something else, but we beat Brock at about 26 minutes. So it's 26 minutes to beat Brock. So see how long it takes to beat the rest of the game. That's it's very interesting to me how long it takes us to beat the rest of the game. So we're leveling up pretty fast. Now the next big thing we level up to get is Ice Beam. The next big thing we're getting is Body Slam. So those are 2 things that are coming up that we get, and I don't show anything past Nugget Bridge here. But while I'm here, please like, share, and subscribe. That's what the button in the bottom left corner is. Not a button; it's just a graphic. But if you like, share, subscribe, you like this content, liking and sharing and subscribing is the easiest way to know that you guys are out there watching and enjoying this content. I don't know why this battle's in here. I don't remember putting this. I think it's because it's a struggle, and here's why. Drowsy puts me to sleep because I miss a Mega Punch, and it's a little bit of a struggling battle. But go ahead and watch this. So liking and subscribing really does help the channel. The more likes you have, the more it shows up in the algorithm for other people. More comments, it does the same thing. It's a complex thing, and I know, and it requires participation, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But you know, we all kind of live in YouTube's world whenever we get on here and make content for people. So now we're facing Sandy. She has 3 Pidgeys. All of them have Sand Attack and Quick Attack. So as long as you outspeed, you don't have much of a problem because her Quick Attack isn't going to do much, but you got to worry about the Sand Attacks. Now we have my favorite trainer where we have a Spirit Take to 0, and we have Eradicate. We Eradicate. And then we get this done, and we're actually showing my path all the way to the next part, which is getting Body Slam. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Let me on. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Let's get on a boat and let's get moves. There we go. And we beat this youngster, Nidoran male. I can't believe Bubble Beam's not a one-shot, but it is what it is. Get the win, and then we get our best physical damaging move. And now we're facing our 4th rival fight. He comes out with a Pidgeotto, Most annoying bird ever. The body slam is a 2-shot. Very good. So then he comes out with Eradicate, and we one-shot the Eradicate. We eradicate it. Kadabra, abracadabra, he's gone. And War Turtle is a 2-shot. Plus he got paralyzed. Very good. So we beat our second rival fight pretty handily, and then we move on to Trash Man, Lieutenant Surge. And Lieutenant Surge, he's Trash Man because you got to root through trash just to get to him. And he comes out with a Voltorb. Voltorb will be a 2-shot. The only thing you got to worry about here is some high-end physical damaging move. Like in this game, I don't think Raichu has Mega Punch or Mega Kick, but he does in yellow. So you really don't have to worry about too much here unless you get paralyzed and you can't attack or something like that. But we get knockout pretty handily, and now we learn Ice Punch, so that's great timing. Water Gun's kind of fulfilled its purpose. We beat Lieutenant Surge. We're moving on, and this is the part of the game where I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some other things in this. So first thing I want to talk about is the struggles for this Pokemon specifically. Actually, I'll skip over that and I'll just do what I was going to do initially. So in my description, I have some other YouTubers that have similar content to this. They do Pokemon playthroughs. Some are a little bit different than me, and that's okay. We can't all be the same. That would be kind of boring. But I do want to give a shout out to a couple. So kind of the two that got me into wanting to do Pokemon playthroughs was JRose11 and Scott's Thoughts. Those are the two that really got me into it, and probably Mah-Dry-Bread's probably thrown in there with a little bit of MandJTV because he talks about Pokemon a lot. And then there's some other people out there that are kind of newer content creators that are in the same boat as me, and they're down there as well, like Man, Eggsceptional, what's another one, Gym Leader Matt. So there's a bunch of them out there that I just want to, I can't, shout out them all. I don't, well, actually I probably could, so just give me 1 second, I will. But I just want to shout them out as well. So if you like this content, I recommend you go check out their content, because their content is it's exceptional. It's pretty good. Eggsceptional's content is definitely exceptional. Another one I definitely need to shout out is Squidgy. I've really enjoyed his content a lot lately. Gym Leader Matt, Mah-Dry-Bread I've already mentioned, MandJTV. SmithPlays Pokemon. That one's a different one. I don't think I linked it here, but that's another one. I'm just going through my follows here on YouTube while we're having some battles here. So Jynx doesn't actually have too many struggles with a lot of the Pokemon in the rock tunnel, because she has Ice Beam to handle like the rock Pokemon. She has Body Slam to handle all the others. She has Lovely Kiss if we come across something that we have nothing good against. So yeah, very good. So Ice Punch, like I said, is gonna like destroy both these grass type Pokemon she's facing right now. KangaskDan is another one I want to shout out. Let's see what other ones we have here, and that's pretty much it. So I may have another one down there I forgot about in the comment section. But yeah, just let me know. Go follow them. Go watch them. I enjoy their content, and I assume people who watch this kind of enjoy kind of the same kind of content that I enjoy. So just let me know what you think. And this is Boomer the Hiker with Bubble Beam and with Ice Beam. There's nothing here. There's no like struggle at all to get these guys knocked out. So yep, there we go. Get the knockout. Now we're moving on to Erica's gym. So Erica has some pretty interesting things going on with her. So Erica, she has, actually I don't think grass Pokemon are that bad, even though in Gen 1 grass Pokemon don't thrive very well if you play through. It's just because of the way the game's laid out. A lot of like just random battles actually are just like not the easiest things to deal with. So kind of like the way the game's played, but it is what it is. But Erica's gym is not very difficult. And some things I want to mention about Erica's gym. Now you do get paralyzed here, so you got to worry about that. But all in all, not too difficult. So Erica's gym is actually I want to talk about something else here. And give me 1 second. I'm taking a drink of my drink. I'm getting distracted. My mouth's getting pretty dry. So Erica's gym, not too difficult. So what are the struggles of this Pokemon? Well, the struggles of this Pokemon, really in the beginning, up to Brock's gym is really where you struggle the most, quote unquote, because you don't have a really good attack that can beat Brock. You have to overlevel and get to, ironically, I get to a base 20 Ghost move to beat Brock consistently. You can probably beat him before that if you got a little bit of luck, but to consistently beat Brock, you have to do that. So and it takes a lot of time to grind. You're in a decent level up group, you really are. So it doesn't take a lot of time to grind, but it does take, like I said, it's 26 minutes. That's how long it took to get by Brock. So you double that time, and we've beaten Misty, we've beaten Lieutenant Surge, we've gotten so many moves, we've progressed so far through the game in pretty much the same amount of time. So 26 minutes later, you double the time, and we've gone a good portion of the way through the game. So that's why I keep bringing up the time, because how much time we spent there, if we spend that same amount of time in the rest of the game, look how much further we've gotten. We're literally right at 52 minutes, just about. So in the same amount of time that we had to get by Brock, we've gotten from Brock to here, and it's just much progression. So Generation 1 was not designed, I'll get to that here in a minute. And Erica's coming out. She is the grass type trainer. She's, like I said, I like her team. I like Victory Bell, I like Vileplume, and Tangela actually isn't too bad. But Ice Beam's a one-shot on every single one of these Pokemon. They're all weak to Ice. Ice Punch is great. We're 7 levels higher. Now we're moving on to, this is the Rocket Game Corner and Giovanni. So this is Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Go ahead and let you watch them battle. So this, like I was saying, with a lot of Pokemon, not just Jynx, but the game did not design you to have this Pokemon this early. So when you look at a lot of its the level up moves, they're skewed towards like when you would get them in the game. So this Pokemon you can't get till later, so a lot of the moves are skewed. They're not actually skewed too bad compared to other Pokemon. Like for example, I'm about to play with Electabuzz next. Electabuzz has Quick Attack and Leer until level like 34. Okay, here's Giovanni. One shot, and it's Kangaskhan a one shot. Kangaskhan's a one shot. 3 up, 3 down. Good morning, good evening, good night, and we have our 5th rival fight. Or as J Rose 11 calls him rival 5. Well, not this rival. He calls him one in Silphco because he always skips over the one of the rival fights. Ice Beam's a one shot on the first Pokemon. Bubble Beam's a one shot on the Arcanine or the Growlithe. Execute is a one shot. Body Slam is a one shot on the Kadabra. Is Wartortle a one shot? It is not, but it's a 2 shot. Very easy. Get Psychic to knock him out. We beat our 5th rival fight. We move on to Koga. Koga's gym is actually more complicated than Koga. He has a bunch of psychic Pokemon in here. But Koga himself is a poison type gym leader, so we're not going to have too many struggles. We're going to have Psychic's going to be a one shot. It's going to be a one shot again, and one shot again. And for good measure, we're going to change it up and do another one shot. There we go. 4 up, 4 down. Koga is a cakewalk, and we move on to Blaine's gym. So Blaine's gym, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit here. So the struggles of this Pokemon, like I said, are early. And you struggle for 2 things. One, because of your stats. You don't have good defense, so everything early has a lot of physical damaging moves. You gotta deal with that. Okay? So you gotta deal with that by just, trying to over level a little bit, just to be more powerful. And you outspeed a lot, so as long as you can hit hard, you're fine. You also don't have the attack stats, the moves that compensate for your move, they don't match up with your moves. They don't match up with your stats. Our stats are special is high, attack is mediocre. Early, we have a lot of physical damaging moves that work up our attack stat. In Generation 2, for example, if we were to play with Jynx, Generation 2, you get Powder Snow very early. A 40 base power move, works off your special, and 100% accurate with stab at 60 base power. That we would get through Brock as fast as Mr. Mime got through Brock if we had that move in Generation 1. But you don't. It is part of the game. And, yeah, it's part of the game. So, nothing you can really do to complain about it. But that's a lot of Pokemon in Generation 1 were not made to play through like this. They are all skewed to around the level in which you would get them in the game. So, for example, like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, you get those level 25 when you beat the Cobra Kai. And all their moves are skewed from like that moment on. But if you have them early, you just have 2 moves that you'll have forever until you get to that point in the game where you would have gotten them. So I know that's like a weird thing to like happen and explain, but that's just the way the game is. Now in Generation 2, they fixed that. They didn't fix everything in Generation 2 because Generation 2 has its flaws as well. But that's one of the bigger flaws in Gen 1 is that they did not skew every Pokemon to have level up movesets early in the game like they're supposed to, and have a gradual level up moveset. Instead, a lot of them, like, you just don't get the moves until like the level in which you get them in the game. Some Pokemon that's really bad, This, like, for example, Electabuzz, I was saying, that's my next Pokemon I'm playing through as. Electabuzz only has Leer and Quick Attack. So now we're facing Blaine, the Fire Gym leader, and he actually gives us a little bit of struggles here. Ice Punch is not a one-shot, but we do freeze him solid. Now, it'd be nice to have a badge boosting move right here. So if we had a badge boosting move, that wouldn't be a problem at all, because we can just badge boost and we make sure we sweep this entire team. But we don't, so now we have to use Psychic. Bubble Beam was not as effective as I would hope. I kept it specifically for this battle, but it doesn't seem like it was doing as much anyway. So Fire Blast one-shots us, and it's not good. So we're going to try this battle again. I'm not going to concede to it. We're going to try this battle one more time. And, okay, so Blaine comes out. You go for Bubble Beam this time, or Body Slam. No, Body Slam doesn't do anything. It also doesn't help that we have the propensity to get burned in here. When you get burned, your attack stat gets cut in half, and that happens actually a little bit later. Happens a little bit later in this playthrough at a critical point. Bubble Beam is a one-shot, so we get critical hits. So long as we get critical hits, we're fine. So Arcanine comes out. It's not a one-shot, but Blaine and his stupid super potion loop thing he gets into. So we beat Blaine. It's not the most cleanest battle ever. But then we move on to our 6th rival fight. Our 6th rival fight comes out with Pidgeot. Ice Beam or Ice Punch will be a one-shot on the Pidgeot. Very good. Now Growlithe comes out. Bubble Beam will be a one-shot on the Growlithe. Execute comes out. Back to the Ice Beam. That's a one-shot. Alakazam. Body Slam is a one-shot as well. And so that leaves Blastoise. Psychic is not a one-shot, but I don't know why I went for defense when we were doing special. But we beat our 6th rival fight pretty handily, and now we're on to our 2nd Giovanni fight. Second Giovanni fight isn't too difficult because, one, we are Psychic, so he has 2 Pokemon that are Poison type and Ground type, so Ice Beam is a one-shot. Ice Beam is also a one-shot in the Kangaskdan. And then Rhyhorn is a one-shot, and for good measure, is Nidoqueen a one-shot? It is a one-shot as well. So we sweep through Giovanni, and we have 2 gym leaders left. We have Sabrina, which Sabrina can be difficult because she's Psychic, but it also triggers some weird things with her, which she'll do like some kind of healing loop or whatever. So we went for Thrash. We got Thrash. It's only gonna have like a short shelf life, and it's because Thrash can like sweep through a team pretty fast because it's pretty powerful. But the problem is we get confused at the end. But it doesn't really affect us too much with this Pokemon because we power through the confusion and we just go straight for the attack. Now they're healing and they're trying to offset that. So Sabrina and her whip, we beat her pretty handily. And we move on to Giovanni's gym. We don't need to fight a lot of trainers in here. Although we are not usually as high level as we usually are at this point in the game, Jynx's stats and everything is just working very well, so we don't need the extra trainer battles. We don't. We're not going to need that. Especially when you look at the Elite Four, look at our moveset. We have Ice and Psychic and Body Slam. There's Elite Four. So Lorelei maybe is the most controversial one or most conflicting one to fight. But if you look at Bruno, we have Ice Move and Psychic to take care of his fighting and ground and rock type Pokemon. Then we have Agatha, we have Psychic. We have with Lance, we have Ice Beam and Ice Punch or whatever. So I guess Lorelei's the biggest conflict we're gonna have, and then potentially we're also gonna have the biggest conflict will be our rival. So Ice Punch is a one-shot. Ice Punch is a one-shot. Ice Punch is a one-shot. And Ice Punch is a one-shot. And we move this. I don't know why we went to Psychic. I don't know why. But Psychic is a 2-shot. Should have stuck with Ice Punch. It had knocked out one hit. But we beat Giovanni number 3 really well. And we move on to our 7th rival fight before the Elite Four. Usually this is one of the more complicated ones, but actually it's one of the best ones because our rival no longer has Sand Attack, so we can just go. We can usually set up here, but we're not setting up right now. Ice Beam's a one-shot. Rhyhorn. Ice Beam's a one-shot. Very good. And now we come out with Growlithe, Ice Beam, or Psychic. Yeah, Psychic's a one-shot. Ice Beam's a one-shot in the Execute. And now we have 2 more Pokemon left. Body Slam is not doing enough damage, but it does half. So it's not. It does about 45%. Okay. So we get the knockout. It's a 3-hit knockout, and now Blastoise is out. There's not really much Blastoise can do. It doesn't have any good moves. Hydro Pump wouldn't do anything because I have high special. So we're at the Elite Four. I'm going to go ahead and pause the stats here. So here's where we're at with this Pokemon. So our worst stat was our defense, and we're at 72, which it's respectable. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So you know, I got here and gave my Pokemon all but 3 rare candies. That's why we're at level 59. We're at 3 rare candies. The reason why I do the 3 rare candy thing is because if we're doing the badge boost, if you level up in the middle of battle, so let's say I do, for the first battle here, you're going to see I'm going to do Mimic. I Mimic Lorelei's Slowbro, he has Amnesia. Amnesia will up our special by a stage, which increases our defense and attack. A special defense, special attack. But what it also does, it does the badge boost where it adds 12.5% to all my other stats. So my attack stat, defense, and special will all go up when I do that. If you level up in battle, it undoes all that. It still keeps your special high, but it undoes the other stats and takes them back to what they were before the battle started, basically. It just does your base stat. Alright? So the reason why I give the rare candy before the battle is it usually prevents us from level up in the middle of the battle. Okay, it resets the experience we need to level up to the maximum experience we would need for the next level, and that's why I do the rare candy like right before the battles. Some battles you don't need that. So Lorelei, I just did like a bunch of them, so you don't need it. Bruno, I've never actually given him a rare candy, but for Agatha, you don't want to level up if you bad boost against Agatha. You also don't want to level up against Lance in case you know you have some kind of boost on there, because sometimes you get a slow Pokemon, you need outspeed, and you lose that speed, or you lose that defense, or that attack stat, whatever the case may be, and so on and so forth. So, but I do want to bring attention to the attack stat. Even though attack stat wasn't great, still 101. Speed is 147, so we will pretty much outspeed everything here. And then special is 151. So all those things are great, and like I said, the special really coincides with Psychic and Ice Beam, so those work great. Speed is great, defense is meh, but as long as we can hit hard, we don't have to worry about it. And we have a decent attack stat. There's only like 1 or 2 Pokemon we have to use Body Slam against because special moves don't do well against them. Alakazam's 1. So yeah, this is a pretty good attack stat. This is pretty good stats across the board. So I'm gonna go. So, and then also our health. Health isn't great, but health is decent. So here's Lorelei. She is the Ice type trainer, and she comes out with a Dugong. So Dugong is gonna look at us all confused, like, oh, and he's gonna do a Super Potion, and we're gonna knock it out in 2 shots. Very good. Poison comes out. Psychic. It's a 1-shot. Doesn't have great special, so Psychic is a 1-shot. Slowbro, we're gonna Mimic Amnesia. This is gonna let us do the badge boost. 1, 2. Now, he did just lower our attack stat, but it boosts our special stat. So, Psychic is not a 1-shot. Ice Beam's a 1-shot, very good. Jynx, Body Slam would usually be a 1-shot, but our attack stat was just lowered. So it's not doing the damage we need. It got a critical hit there, but that's why we didn't 1-shot the Jynx. Usually we do, but we got our attack stat lowered with Growl. So we beat Lorelei, and we move on to Bruno. We don't talk about him much because Bruno's kind of a cakewalk with most Pokemon. So Bruno comes out with an Onix. This is exactly why we have Ice Punch. It's a 1-shot. And I'm going to give you a hint. This is the trend. Psychic is a 1-shot on the Hitmonchan. Pokemon in the skirt. Psychic is a 1-shot on Hitmonlee. That's the Pokemon with no mouth. And then Ice Beam is a 1-shot on the Onix. And then Psychic is a 1-shot on the Machamp. So we clean sweep Bruno. This is why we don't level up. It's why we don't talk about Bruno. It's also why we don't use no rare candy there, because you don't need to. So now we're going to heal up. We're going to level up a level so we don't level up in the middle of battle. And we give an elixir to replenish all of our power points. So I'm saving right now. And then we're going to take on Agatha. Now Agatha can be scary because you have the Agatha Lotto, which is like she can poison you, she can paralyze you, she puts you to sleep, she can also confuse you. But Psychic, we have no way to badge boost, but Psychic is actually pretty powerful against Agatha and her Ghost type. Ice Beam is a 1-shot on the Golbat. Haunter, Ice Beam is not a 1-shot. We got caught into a clicking loop, but it's okay. We still get the knockout. Psychic is a 1-shot in the Arbok. All of our Pokemon are Ghost and Poison type, so they're all weak to Psychic. Very easy win. We barely take any damage. We beat Agatha, and we move on to Lance. Lance can be tricky because Lance has some pretty good moves and is has some pretty powerful Pokemon, especially his first Pokemon. First Pokemon is Gyarados, which Gyarados is flying water, so he is weak to ice, but then he's not weak to ice with water. And we don't exactly have the greatest move to knock him out, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go for this. So the goal is to knock out Gyarados as quickly as possible. Okay, the reason why is you want to get to the next Pokemon, because if we did want to do the badge boost, we can do it on the next Pokemon. We don't really need to, but the goal here is to knock out the Gyarados. So he does a little bit of damage to us. Dragon Rage is the worst. Because Dragon Rage, and it doesn't matter if you have high special or high defense, it does 40 damage regardless. So Ice Beam should one-shot and sweep the rest of his team. Both the Dragonairs obviously are Dragon type, they're weak to Ice. Aerodactyl's double weak. He's not. He's rock and flying, so he's weak to ice that way. And then Dragonite is a one-shot on the Ice Beam, so I don't know why it's going as slow as it is to transition this. So now you're kind of seeing a little bit behind the curtain. I did mess up a little bit on this transition. It is what it is. I had one transition I didn't click on, so that's all it was. However, it doesn't really affect the video at all. What it does do, though, is you're kind of seeing behind the curtains that we have the graphics show up very slowly. This is like, yeah. This reminds me of an episode of Red vs. Blue. Hold on. If you ever watch Red vs. Blue, I recommend you go watch it. It's like season 3 or season 4, where like his troops, O'Malley has all these troops made by O'Malley and who is it? Lopez. And Lopez, he makes his troops able to win a battle in a day, so they move so slow. But there's so many troops, but they move so slow. It just reminded me of that little joke in the game. So, 8th rival fight, the champion. Ice Beam's a one-shot on the Pidgeot. Okay, Alakazam will be a 2-shot with Body Slam. And Psychic doesn't really do much to me, about 30 damage, if that. And now Rhydon comes out. And I'm going for Body Slam because I want Rhydon to do a move to me. I've done this strategy before. We don't have a way to do the badge boost against this team except for Rhydon. So Rhydon has 2 moves on his moveset. He has Leer and he has Tail Whip. Both of them will lower our defense, which our defense already is low. It kind of sucks anyway, so what's the big deal? But it'll lower our defense, but what it will also do is it will initiate the badge boost glitch. Okay, so what that means for us, and that sucks that we froze the damn thing and we got ourselves knocked out. It is what it is. So we're going to try this battle again, but we want Rhydon to do Leer or Tail Whip to us at least twice. And the reason why, it's going to boost our attack, it's going to boost our defense. I'm sorry, it will boost our it will lower our defense, but it will boost the other stats like special and speed. And we just need a little more oomph for the end of the game, end of the battle. So I'm going to go ahead and just mimic recover here, just in case Rhydon decides to do something other than what I need him to do and capitulate to what I need. Psychic doesn't do too much to us, so moving on to Rhydon. So I'm going to do Body Slam again. I'm going to do Recover. Tail Whip, there's 1. That's 1 badge boost. We just need 1 more. Leer, that's exactly what we wanted. Thank you for capitulating. And now we should sweep the rest of his team. Ice Beam on Arcanine. 1 shot, very good. And 1 shot, very good. And we got to level up, so a lot of our badge boosts just went away. However, we still get the 2-shot. Actually, it might not be a 2-shot. It is a 2-shot. Okay, cool. So we beat our rival. We beat the champion in the game. I don't want to jinx it, but we got a good time. And like I said earlier, 26 minutes is how long it took to get by Brock. And we're looking at this, and it's taken, what, about 50 minutes to get by the rest? It's going to take about 50 minutes to get by the rest. And so we clock in with the time of 1 hour and 17 minutes and 44 seconds. So imagine if we just didn't have to take 26 minutes to get by Brock. Imagine we started the game with Snow Powder or Powder Snow or any kind of move that does, even with Water Gun. We could have got through that in less than 10 minutes. And we're looking at pretty much maybe a sub-hour run. It's not going to happen because, you know, you have to get by Brock with the moves you have, and you only have Pound and Lick, and you have to get to level 18 to get Lick anyway. Like I said, you could probably beat Brock with Lovely Kiss and Pound. It just wouldn't be that consistent. So, that is the playthrough. That is Jynx. It was a pretty decent playthrough, not gonna lie. It was not the worst. It's just the worst part is just getting by Brock in the beginning. That really is the worst part. But after that, you know, the run pretty much took off. It took about, what, less than, not even, if it was an hour, it'd be an hour and 26 minutes. So it'd be about 51 minutes to get by the rest of the game. 51 minutes. Oh no, maybe it's less than that. Maybe it's 41. I can't add. I can't do math. I can't do math right now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning where I am. So, but that's my playthrough. And so let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Go back to my prediction video. Were you correct? Was I correct? You'll see. And also, what I want to let you know is the next one coming up, next Pokemon, is Electabuzz. Now, I've been trying to say this in the playthrough, and it keeps happening. Electabuzz doesn't get any electric moves via level up to like level 34. That doesn't stop us from doing well. There's other things we can do to kind of counter that. Just letting you guys know that that's going to be a struggle we have early with Electabuzz. Electabuzz, not Electrabuzz. I keep saying that, even though as a kid I've always said that, but it was not the correct pronunciation for this Pokemon. So let me just think in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And this has been JD's Nerdverse. Everyone have a good one, and see ya.